This video will show a bit how I added an elastic waistband to a pair of high-waisted jeans. Okay, so today we're going to actually get the elastic waistband in the pants. So I've already cut a hole on one side, so now I'm going to cut the hole on the other side for this belt loop here. So what I do is I just pinch the material and pull it up so that I'm only getting the inside of the waistband, because I don't want to cut all the way through, because you shouldn't be able to see any of this from the front. And then I cut right there. That's just to get it started. Then flatten it out, put the scissors inside, and snip here. I need to snip most of the way along it to make sure that the elastic will be able to fit in. If you're using smaller elastic, then this won't need to happen. But there we go. So now I have the holes on both sides there. I did need to try to avoid the pocket stitching on the inside a little bit, so just be careful when you do that. Now what I'm going to do is I have the thread that matches as closely as I have. I just threaded up my needle with that, and I'm just going to stitch all around this hole, not stitching it to anything, just making sure that the thread goes around the edge so that it doesn't fray as much. I'm going to start on the inside so that the knot of the thread is hidden. And I'm just going to start this stitching. So now I have one side done. I've stitched this side right here. This side's not done yet. So it still doesn't look great, but it's on the inside of the pants, so you're not going to be able to see it. And I do think that it'll help keep it from fraying anymore. So now I'm going to move on to the next side. So now I have both of the holes stitched up, and now I'm going to add my buttons. I'm probably going to add them just about maybe half an inch. Yeah, probably about half an inch away from the hole, so that there's a little bit of space. And I'm going to just hand stitch the button about half an inch away, again only going through the inside half of the waistband so nothing shows through to the front. These are the little buttons that I'm using. I'm thinking that the smaller the better, so then there's less bulk with the buttons. So I'm just going to stitch those on now. Okay, so now I have one button stitched on. I don't know if you can see it. Right there, about half an inch away from the hole. And so now I'm just going to sew my other button onto the other side. Again, about half an inch away. Okay, now I have both holes and both buttons. So now it is time to put my elastic waistband through the holes. And these already have my buttonholes sewn into them. And I just put a safety pin on one side to help me be able to push it through the waistband without losing it. And so I will just start pushing it through. Okay, so I'm having a little bit of difficulty here. I've got the elastic all the way around, and I was able to button it on this side, but I still have a lot of elastic here because it's gathered itself. And when I'm trying to pull it through, it's just bunching rather than actually sliding the material through. So I'm going to have to keep working at this to get it not bunched and to get that rest of the elastic through. So definitely does take a bit of work here, but I think it's already getting a little bit smoother, so. Okay, so I've got that new waistband in. The outside looks exactly the same, but on the inside, in the front, we just have two little pieces of elastic with some buttons and the holes here. So I'm very excited to try them on now, and I will end up, this setting will be the exact same size that it originally was. So it's laying flat, but all I have to do is unbutton and pull and button it onto one of the tighter settings to make it a little bit gathered and more fitted on my waist. So time to try them on. Okay, so now I have the pants on. I still have it on the loosest setting, so I definitely still have the gapping happening. So now I'm just going to try to adjust them and see how they work. I'm going to put it on the tightest setting that I have. So on the tightest setting there's quite a bit of elastic hanging out here. So definitely want to make sure to tuck that in. And now it's a lot more fitted and I don't feel like I need to wear a belt. This is very exciting. And I can bend down without them falling down or gaping open. So excited. Now I have to do it for 4 more pairs. So, my boyfriend just informed me that his mom used to do this to his jeans growing up, and he didn't like it very much because of the buttons and stuff, but he didn't think that she sewed on the elastic at all. And I was like, okay, so did she just cut the buttonholes or what? And he's like, no, I think she just bought it. Sure enough, he pulls up Amazon and you can just buy elastic with buttonholes already in it. So I think I'm gonna do that for the next 4 pairs rather than spending hours trying to sew some buttonholes. This also means that there will be holes along the whole of the elastic, so you have a lot more options in terms of sizing. So I'm gonna go do that. Not counting the test pair of pants, I originally planned on adding this waistband to 3 pairs of pants and 2 pairs of shorts. However, I did this to 2 pairs of high-waisted pants first. After wearing them for a while, I realized that I had issues with them staying up. This seems to be due to them being high-waisted rather than due to the waistband tightness. I still prefer the pants with the elastic waistband added because there's less gapping, all that kind of stuff. But I think I'm more of a mid-rise pants person, and I'm going to reanalyze before adding this to all of my pants or shorts. I did end up buying the elastic with buttonholes already in the elastic for the second pair of pants, and it saved a lot of time. Let me know in the comments if you've owned pants with this type of adjustable elastic waistband, or if you have tried to add it yourself.